Former President Donald J. Trump loves to say he ended 8 wars, which is incredible because nobody can find these wars. Not the Pentagon, not NATO, not Google, not even the History Channel at 3 a.m., and those guys will air anything. So let's take a scenic tour through Trump's imaginary military resume. Trump claims he ended the war between Israel and the UAE Bahrain in September 2020 with the signing of the Abraham Accords, which is fascinating because there was no war, there were no active battles, no rockets, no invasions, nothing. The UAE and Israel had been quietly cooperating for years on security and intelligence. All Trump did was host a normalization ceremony, basically a high-budget group selfie, and then announced he'd stopped a conflict that wasn't happening. Israel's real war, the one with Palestinians in Gaza, continued unbothered. So no, he didn't end anything, but he did sign some pretty folders. So there's that. Next, Trump claims he stopped a war between India and Pakistan in mid-2025. There was no war. There were border skirmishes, yes, the same kind they've had for decades. He threatened 36% tariffs and pushed for a temporary ceasefire. Not a peace treaty, not a resolution of Kashmir, just a brief cool down, the geopolitical equivalent of putting 2 toddlers in timeout. Calling this ending a war is like calling yourself a firefighter because you blew out a birthday candle. Next on Trump's list of imaginary achievements, claiming he renewed the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire on May 6, 2025. This was a truce renewal, the same ceasefire first agreed in 2003. Skirmishes continued afterwards. No long-term solution, no treaty. Trump basically said, hey, maybe stop shooting for a minute. And when they mostly did, he declared himself the second coming of Gandhi. Trump bragged that he stopped a war between Ethiopia and Egypt over the Gerd Dam in 2025. Again, there was no war. It was a diplomatic dispute. No invasions, no battles, no missiles. Trump suspended some aid, talked loudly, and then pretended he prevented World War III over. You guessed it. A dam. A dam. This is what happens when you think every foreign disagreement is a cage match. In April 2025, Trump claimed he ended the war with Iran. Except America has not been in a declared war with Iran since, well, ever. There were proxy strikes and back-and-forth blows. He got a temporary de-escalation, an informal truce, not a peace deal. Nothing was resolved. Iran still funds proxy militias. The tension still exists. CNN even said the US role was unclear, which is polite journalist speak for, we have no idea what he thinks he did. Finally, Trump claims he ended the Gaza war. Here's reality. He supported a UN-backed Phase 1 ceasefire, the first real breakthrough after 2 years of mass casualties following the October 7th attacks. Good? Yes. Ending a war? Not even close. This was a fragile, temporary halt. Israel and Hamas remain enemies. Reconstruction hasn't begun. No permanent deal exists, but Trump calls this ending the war. Sure. And if I stop my microwave at 1 second, I guess I ended electrical consumption worldwide. Trump claims he ended 8 imaginary wars, but the one war he actually promised, loudly, repeatedly, theatrically, to end on day 1, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the real war, the deadly war, the one with tanks, missiles, drones, mass graves, and millions displaced. And how's that going? He hasn't ended it. He hasn't slowed it. He hasn't influenced it. He hasn't even visited the region. Turns out ending real wars is harder than ending theoretical ones.